Hello, my fellow survivor. Have you ever thought about what would happen if a virus turned people into flesh-eating monsters? Would you survive? Scientists say it's not just fiction. In nature, something similar already exists. Last time I promised we'd look at what real scientists say about zombie viruses. And trust me, some of it is terrifyingly possible. Here are 8 facts that'll make you question if a zombie outbreak could actually happen. What is a zombie virus? When we talk about a zombie virus, we're really referring to infections that change behavior in extreme and frightening ways. Take rabies, for example. This virus infects the brain and causes aggression, confusion, and an intense fear of water. Symptoms that can remind us of the classic zombie frenzy. Rabies is spread through bites and saliva, making it highly contagious in wild animals and humans. Then there's Toxoplasma gondii, a parasite found in cat feces and contaminated food. Infected rodents lose their natural fear of predators, making them easy prey, and this parasite can even affect human behavior in subtle ways. Scientists are still studying. And we can't forget about the cordyceps fungus, famous for infecting insects, taking over their bodies and controlling their movements before killing them. While this fungus doesn't infect humans, it gives us a glimpse into how a parasite could potentially manipulate hosts in terrifying ways. These infections show us that nature already has viruses and parasites capable of twisting the mind and behavior. So the real question isn't if a zombie virus could exist, it's how close are we to something like it. Could a parasite mutate and affect humans? Alright, so we know some parasites can control animal behavior, but could one actually mutate to take over humans? It sounds like sci-fi, but in nature, parasites are constantly evolving. Some have incredible abilities to alter their hosts' minds. Take Toxoplasma gondii again. It's mastered making mice lose all fear, literally turning them into easy targets. That's a huge behavioral shift. If a parasite evolved to target humans the same way, it could potentially manipulate our emotions, instincts, even survival decisions. But for that to happen, it would need to adapt to the complexity of the human brain, which is much harder than a mouse's. Still, nature surprises us every day, and mutations happen faster than we expect. So, yes, the idea of a parasite evolving to affect human behavior isn't impossible, and that's what makes it so terrifying. How viruses affect the brain. Viruses don't just attack our bodies, some can actually mess with the brain. Take rabies again. It infects the nervous system, causing confusion, aggression, and hallucinations, almost like losing control of your own mind. Other viruses, like herpes simplex, can cause encephalitis, brain inflammation that changes behavior and personality. Scientists have also linked some viruses to mental health disorders, showing just how much infections can impact our thoughts and actions. If a virus evolved to specifically hijack brain functions that control fear, aggression, or impulse control, it could push people into violent, zombie-like states. That's the scary part. It's not just fiction anymore. Viruses have the power to rewrite how we behave. Why would a zombie virus need to survive in humans? Viruses are all about survival and spreading. They need a host to replicate and pass on to others. Humans make a perfect host. We move, interact, and can unknowingly spread the virus far and wide. But here's the catch. A virus that turns people into aggressive, biting zombies would need to balance 2 things. It can't kill its host too fast, or it loses its chance to spread. But it also needs to make the host dangerous enough to infect others. This delicate balance is called the trade-off in virus evolution. Too weak, it won't spread. Too strong, it kills too quickly. So, Any real zombie virus would have to be smart about how it controls the host. Could science create such a virus on purpose? With advances in genetic engineering and synthetic biology, scientists have the tools to modify viruses in ways we never imagined. There are experiments where viruses are altered to better understand diseases or to create treatments. But the idea of designing a virus that turns people into zombies, that's still science fiction, and, thankfully, highly unethical. However, accidental mutations or bioweapons research gone wrong, that's a real concern. If a virus were engineered or mutated with the ability to change brain function, it could become a terrifying biological weapon. So, while we're far from zombies walking the streets, the risks of virus manipulation mean we can't completely rule out dangerous outcomes. How could society respond? If a zombie-like outbreak happened, how would society react? Governments would likely declare emergencies, enforce quarantines, and try to control information to avoid mass panic. Healthcare systems would be overwhelmed quickly. Hospitals might collapse under the pressure. Supply chains for food, medicine, and essentials could break down, leading to shortages. Some people might band together for safety, while others might panic and cause chaos. Historically, societies have struggled with pandemics and disasters, but a zombie outbreak would add the terrifying element of infected aggressors. Preparation, communication, and community resilience would be key to survival. But the truth is, it would be one of the biggest challenges humanity has ever faced. So now that you've seen how real science could maybe lead to a zombie-like scenario, what do you think? Could humanity actually survive something like this? Here's your challenge. Imagine it's day 1 of the outbreak. What's the first thing you do? Comment your plan below. I'll be reading them. And if you think this was terrifying, Part 3 will be even darker. We'll explore what type of zombies we'd actually face. The slow, classic ones? Or the fast, mutated nightmares from The Last of Us? Hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. And remember, sometimes fiction is just a few steps ahead of reality.